Your greatest asset in business isn't actually your business, it's the people that are inside your business. When you invest in your team, when you build them up, when you create the success, when you do those things to be able to help them flourish as individuals, both personally and professionally, by the way, that's where the magic happens. So, why does your team matter? What's the essence of it? What is the most important thing for them? See, I've long since talked about something called the people, product, price philosophy. It's probably not my analogy, it's just something that I've started using quite a bit. See, there's the people, the product, and the price. And that's generally the three things that happen in a business. Now, when you look at this, when you break this down, you also have to say, okay, well, how does this work? See, oftentimes, and actually I found this out the hard way once when I was working for a company, and they actually had it in reverse. They actually went price, product, people, when it should be people, product, price. See, here's what I mean by that. Okay, when you have a product and you have your price, people think that they need to make sure that they have the best product ever. Well, if you're a heating and air conditioning company, you got furnaces, you got air conditioners. Okay, maybe there's some other things you can do like IAQ. If you're a plumber, it's faucets, that's hot water tanks, that's water softeners, right? Like, there's nothing fancy and special about the product. In fact, you didn't even create the product. You're just selling it from a distributor. So your product, in essence, doesn't really matter that much. Now, of course, there's some nuances there and SEER ratings and inefficiencies and all those good things, but the product is what it is. It's just a product, okay? So now people go, okay, well, my price is the most important part. If I have the right price, I can be able to make sure that I can get the right product out there to be able to do what I need to do. Okay, price is part of it. I'm not going to say that it's not, okay? But price is an important thing because you have to price yourself accordingly to be able to hit your margins, to be able to hit your profit, but also pay your people. And you can actually charge a little bit more if you take care of your people first. That's why people is number one. You have to take care of your people. When you take care of them, when you build the culture, when you have these extra things that go into it, when people want to work for you, you can end up charging more money. Pay more than the given rate in an area, because you have great people, you have a great culture, and your people are the most important part of it. So let's talk a little bit about some of these things. How can you invest into your people? How can you do those things for them to be able to make sure that you have the best thing going for them? Well, and of course, obviously it's important, right? When you invest in people, you have to do that, okay? So a couple things that you can do. One, personal development, personal and professional development, rather. You have to make sure you do both. Here's the other part. Your core values, by the way, should be things that they can transcend work and they can actually take home with them, okay? But you want to invest in them. You want to do professional development the right way. Not just set things for them, but do you say to them that, hey, if you come up with this course, if you come up with this thing, you want to go to it, okay, well, great. Here you go. Go for it. We have this thing in our organization where I tell our team, hey, if you want to learn something more, you want to go do something, you want to take a course, somebody sent you something, great, send it my way. Let me know how much it costs. We'll buy it. I've never said no to a person. Sometimes it's, hey, not right now. We'll budget it in. If it's an expensive item, we'll have to budget it, right? But if there's easy things that you can do, and you should have this part of your budget anyways for personal professional development, not just for you as the owner, but for the entirety of the team. That's number one. Number two is making sure you have a supportive culture. Now, a culture is more than just yoga and dogs at work, right? There's a lot more that goes involved in it. In fact, I had a message on that's actually on our YouTube. You can search for that. You can listen to that. It's an actual in-depth talk that I give at one of the conferences about building this culture. But culture is an important thing because when people have a culture, they want to go to work. Have you ever wondered why there's some companies that say, I don't have a recruiting problem, and other people are like, I can't find talent anywhere? Part of it's your culture, right? People that you can't find talent, they don't want to work for you. Straight up. You haven't built a place where they want to go into work. So that's number two, is that supportive culture. The third one is recognition. Now, not everybody wants the recognition or the praise or the attaboys, but honestly, people actually like it. Right? There's this old saying that is you want to recognize in public and criticize in private. So don't go on the criticizing your team in a public scenario. It actually doesn't do any good and calls them out and makes them feel like shit. So don't ever do that. You always want to make sure that those conversations, those tough conversations, are in private, but you want to reward and recognize in a public scenario, in a public setting. The more that you reward and you recognize your team for doing the right things, it's that saying, what you focus on expands. When you can focus on that, when you can expand upon that, when you reward and recognize the things that you want in your business, now the rest of the team is going to continue to do that. And that's why you need to be able to do that. And that's the number three pillar for treating your people right. The fourth one is their well-being. Have you created something where you actually care about their life, where you actually care about their boundaries? The reality, and again, this is different depending on the business that you're in. It's a lot easier for us, a digital marketing company. On Purpose Media helps you with your website SEO, PPC, by the way. When we have the digital aspect, we can be fully remote. In fact, we are a fully remote work from home team. Not every business can do that and support that. But you have to look at, okay, what's the well-being if you're physical office? Do you have to book time in and make it very difficult if they need to run an errand in life? They have to go to the doctor or the dentist. A kid's sick, you got to pick them up from school, pick up and drop off. Family time is super important for a lot of people. I know myself, I have 2 young kids, and we eat breakfast, I would say 99% of the time together as a family. We eat supper 99% of the time as a family. The only time we don't is if one of us is away, really, for the most part. Like, by and large, we're always eating supper together as a family. It's super important value for us. So we make sure that our team also has that same ability with the flexibility. So do you put those things in there? Now, obviously, there's some nuances. You got techs in the field doing those sorts of things if you're a home service business. So I get that. But you also have to give them that push and the pull in order to be able to treat their well-being, their mental health, those sorts of things, those family, those personal things that are needed. You got to make that a priority for them. See, those are just 4 quick things. I mean, there's a lot more that we can go on, but those are 4 quick things. See, the reality is if you don't build in those sorts of things, you don't treat your people, number one, turnover is high. Do you know what it costs you to bring in one person into your organization? Do you know what it costs you to hire that person, train that person, get them up and running? Different nuances for different businesses. We figure for ours, it's probably about a $700 fee in terms of just the advertising to bring in a person into our business, plus our recruiting time, plus our training time, plus the spinning up time. We're probably about a month in there. Like, we've thousands of dollars in our business to bring in one person. So if you get it wrong, I mean, okay, great companies only get it right 70% of the time. So you have to make sure that you protect that investment. It's an investment bringing people into your team, and you have to treat them right so that they want to stay here. They want to do great work for your business. Huge, huge thing. Knowing that and protecting that turnover. The other part is when teams feel secure and supported in their business, they actually want to stay there. They want to do good work. They actually go to bat for the vision of the organization. Because you've shared that vision. You're treating them right. You're doing the things that they want. Important piece. Lastly, this is also a key thing, right? Your business, your name, your reputation. If one of your team member goes and does something, protect them. You protect your reputation in your business because they're going to do what's right. The other part is empowering them with your core values. If, for example, our first core values, do what's right, not what's easy. If I've empowered our team to be able to say, hey, this is happening. What do you think the right thing to do here is? Not the easy, the right thing. They're just going to go do it. Right? You empower them and you protect your investment by giving them the latitude to be able to do the things because you've supported them in the very first place. It comes full circle. So I ask you, what are you doing with your team to protect your investment?